Paralegals, along with Corey Woodland. Today we'll be speaking on the importance of taking care of yourself by watching what you eat. The Eat to Live campaign, Black Gardening. So in the U.S., gardening has always been a space of black empowerment and endurance. Gardens are described as real spaces where people dreamed up and then practiced versions of freedom during slavery. Our story in this country is largely difficult, rife with death, captivity, terror, family separation, and the racial wealth gap. The gardening alchemy transforms lack into abundance and informs a framework for resistance. From the minute our ancestors were put on boats from Africa and taken over to the Western Hemisphere, we no longer owned our bodies. Some of the earliest activities they did was garden, together in little kitchen gardens outside of the slave quarters on Sundays. The garden is a stage to indulge in ancestral relationships to the land. The most apparent benefit of gardening is fresh produce. Even the act of gardening is immensely beneficial for the mind, body, and soul. Gardening can help raise our spirits and confidence, encourage self-care, boost self-esteem, and inspire paths for self-growth and determination. At the same time, gardening can remind you of the benevolent role humans can play in their environment and community. Stepping outside, getting your hands dirty, and connecting your soul to the soil can positively impact your day-to-day life and empower your future. Activist and Professor Monica White considers how for Black women gardening offers an opportunity to work against systems and structures that have oppressed them. Gardens not only allow you the creative freedom and free reign to choose what foods you or your community will enjoy, but encourage self-autonomy and confidence in your ability to provide yourself and others. Though large numbers of Black people have historically been excluded from land ownership, an emerging group of Black Americans are turning to gardening, farming, and agriculture as a means of empowerment, self-sufficiency, and tapping into the ancestral ties to the soil. Farming is evolutionary fundamental. It's about weaving together relationships to land, our human communities, and their spiritual realm, and producing something that's undeniably good. Beyond just creating access to fruits and vegetables, we are to plant seeds of growth and empowerment in our communities. Prior to the investments in gardens, communities rely heavily on packaged foods from corner stores that is loaded with preservatives. In order to provide a healthier future for families, we have to educate people about how life-changing, clean, real food can be to help you thrive. Every school should have a garden, and every garden should have a school. We have to teach children to plant and to tend to garden while also allowing their dreams and aspirations to take root. We have to reevaluate people about what is valuable, like clean air and caring for the earth and their bodies, and teaching them about cooking the food they grow. We all need healthy food, and you must realize if you can't feed yourself, we need to free ourselves from the system of oppressed food.
All calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
Food inequity. We have to spread one of the main messages, which is the importance of caring for the earth and its resources. We have to instill the love of nature, because gardens are not just about food, the gardens are also about life. With the Eat to Live campaign, here is Corey Woodland. With more on the Eat to Live campaign, here is Corey Woodland. And as always, we encourage comments, questions, and opinions. Thank you.
All right, thank you everybody for tuning in to this episode of the Hood Paralegal Podcast. And, this is the Eat to Live episode. We're talking about nutritionists and gardening and, just the health benefits of gardening, period. And we got a special guest with us today. My baby sister, Santana Webb. She run her own garden, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let her tell y'all and introduce. I'm gonna let her tell her story. What she do and everything. Little sis, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, well, introduce yourself. Thank you. First of all, thank you for being a special guest, and you know what I'm saying, and tuning in with us and being part of this episode, and giving us some of your jewels on gardening. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell your age, and just tell the name of your garden and how long you've been gardening and stuff like that. Just elaborate on it for us real quick.
Okay, my name is Santana Webb. I'm 13 years old, and I've been gardening since I was around 7 or 8. And I garden at Cherry Street Court Garden, And I got into gardening around when I was 7 or 8, when I used to hang around my granny a lot. And my granny, she was introduced to the owners of the garden one time. And they was basically trying to convince her to get a garden, but she didn't want to get it all by herself. So she came and asked me, and she was basically just like, if I get a garden, will you help me, or can we share it? And I told her, I said yes, and I took the opportunity because it was like gardening is like, it's like an outlet for me. And it's like, because when you outside, you getting fresh air, and then you're working. It's like helping physically and mentally. So it just helps me a lot physically and mentally.
Okay, and man, that's a lot of that's new to me, you know, because I know I used to eat a lot of vegetables and stuff from the garden, and you know, Grandma used to cook her specialty, them fried green tomatoes, and I didn't know that, you know, that she was offered a garden. And, you know, it's amazing, you know, man, it's just amazing because, like I said, that was new to me. Now, look, I want you to elaborate, if you don't mind, on, you know, you had a health scare recently, and what was the situation, and how did gardening and just gardening period, how did it help you overcome, you know, your health scare, and what was it about, and the benefits, and help you reduce the stress, and how did gardening basically benefit you in the healing process, mentally and physically?
Okay, so last year, earlier in 2022, I went through a very tragic event where I had a virus called MERS, and it attacked all my lungs and my organs, and my heart was only pumping at 10%, and I was in the hospital for a while fighting it. And after I had got out of that very tragic event, my life basically changed, and it turned around because I had to see a whole bunch of doctors, and then I had to take physical therapy, and it was very tragic for me. And last year when I started gardening, it helped me with my physical strength and my mental strength, because when I was in the hospital, like, my mental mindset changed a whole bunch, and it changed me as a person. And as I was gardening, it helps me to get, like I said, it helps me to get fresh air, to know, because when you get fresh air, it's like you getting fresh energy. And it's a good thing, because when you have fresh energy, you have positive energy, because you don't want to have no negative energy on you, especially going through something like that. So, and then gardening, it benefited me because after I got out the hospital, I also had to eat healthier, and I had to drink more water, and I had to be hydrated more. So gardening helps me eat healthier, because the plants that you plant when gardening, the fruits and vegetables, they're healthier, and they don't have all of them chemicals up in it that you would go to the store and normally find fruits and vegetables that have chemicals up in it. And it was a better type of vegetable for me, and it actually helped me get out my comfort zone a little bit and try something new.
Okay, and that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So my next question is, you know, now with the school, now do you think that every school should have a garden, and kids should be taught about planting and tending to a garden?
I most definitely think that schools should have a garden, because kids, like, now kids, they don't understand, like, the importance
all
of
calls
gardening.
other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
Kids don't understand the importance of gardening as of right now, because I know at my school, I go to Milwaukee College Prep, my school, they teach little kids about gardening, because kids don't know how much gardening affects your life. And then plus our ancestors, they garden. That's how the world got food back then, because our ancestors, they had to garden and they had to plant to get food. And kids don't understand how much gardening have brought us a long way to where we are today.
Okay. And so my last question to you is anything you want to, what you got planned for the future, any business ventures, and how you, anything else you want to instill in us about eating to live, you know what I'm saying? Close us out with that.
I would definitely say in the future, you want to eat healthier, because if you don't, it might not affect you right now, but as you get older, it definitely will affect you, and it'll be way worse. And it's good to keep up with your physical health and take care of your body, because you don't know what could happen in the future. And like, if it affects you really bad, then it could probably end up changing your life. Like that tragic event changed mine.
Okay. And, I thank you again for coming and taking time out your schedule this morning, to instill some wisdom and to drop some jewels on us on eating to live. And, like I said, you motivate me on the daily, and I appreciate and I'm honored at you as a little sister, because I learned a lot from you on the daily. And I just wish you success to your journey, and with the garden. And you and Granny with the garden, and y'all continue to grow them green tomatoes, because y'all know I love them, and I'm gonna eat them while I love them. And I love you, and just thank you for come being a guest and tuning in with us and dropping these jewels on us today. I love you. And anything else you want to say before we exit?
No.
Okay. Thank you again, and family. Thank everybody for tuning in this episode. To eating to live, and like she said, we got to start growing our own food so we can continue to eat to live and stop eating all these preservatives and things like that. And there's a lot of benefits of gardening, mentally and physically. Thank you, everybody, and we'll tune in, and hopefully, any dialogue, like, share, comment, any comments you'd like to make, do it on the YouTube, on the website, and we just thank y'all for having y'all as an audience. We appreciate y'all. Have a blessed day and the success of y'all this week. And stay positive.